everyone, so in this video today, we're going to be talking about 11 insider tips that every single commercial real estate agent should know. So the first thing I want to start off with in this video is every single agent should realize in the commercial world that great deals solve all problems. In the residential world, you hear the word of saying leads solve all problems or listings solve all problems. In the commercial world, great deals solve all problems. Finding a lot of great off-market, direct-to-seller deals will solve all of your problems. Point number 2 is that you need very little software to be successful. You don't need dozens of different little softwares here and there. You really just need 3 things and 3 things only. Number 1, Reonomy. A lot of people like CoStar. I actually prefer Reonomy. So by the way, if you're looking for Reonomy at a discount, make sure you reach out to myself and my team. We have a partnership with Reonomy. We'd love to be able to support you in that. But you need Reonomy, you need a dialer, and then you need a CRM system. It doesn't matter which CRM you have, the point is you just use it. You need Reonomy, a dialer to call those leads, and then you need a CRM to make sure that you follow up with them appropriately. Point number 3 is think like an investor first and like a realtor second. Common mistake that people make is that they think like a real estate agent only. They never think like a real estate investor. The biggest challenge here is most real estate agents are not investors. And when they don't know how to think like a real estate investor, it's really hard for them to find great off-market deals because they don't know what it looks like. They bring a $250,000 house to an investor because they think that it can sell for $300,000. Well, newsflash, it needs $25,000 to $30,000 worth of work minimally, plus your closing costs on both sides, plus your holding costs on both sides. You've just lost $30,000. So great deal. So the point is, you need to understand how to think like an investor, which means understanding the underwriting process, understanding the game. Like we'll talk about this later in this video, but you need to know the game. Think like an investor first and like a realtor second. Point number 4, prospecting for new leads is the lifeblood of your business. So just like you have to breathe in order to live, if you are not prospecting daily for new leads and generating new leads each and every single day, your business will struggle to survive. However, what I see commonly is that real estate agents, they don't make a lot of phone calls, if any at all, and they don't do it for long enough period of time so that they're like, oh, I don't have any leads to pitch out to my investors. Well, that's the only job you really have as a commercial real estate agent. Find great deals, sell them to investors. You need to figure out how to find great deals. We have plenty of videos over here where you can check out about how to find more great off-market deals. Point number 5, this might be a little bit convoluted with the information you've probably heard, but listings do not make you rich in the commercial world. Actually, contracts do, or more importantly, great off-market direct-to-seller leads do. Stop trying to focus on just getting listings. It's not what the game is about. You actually don't want a lot of listings. I don't really care, and I hope to God I never have to list a commercial property ever. I don't even want to take a listing because what that means is that a real estate agent has absolutely no understanding of how to sell this deal. Because the only reason why on planet Earth I would ever list a property for sale is I got a lead and they want an astronomical number, and then I can't sell it to my investors because it's way too high of a number. They're not willing to do seller financing, no creative anything, and they're just begging to sell it. Fine, I'll list your property, but it's probably not going to sell for any price point that you're probably considering. Those properties that are listed on the market are most of the time just very high priced deals, and there's a reason why they're not selling. They're high priced. That's why, just not worth the time. Point number 6, we're talking about becoming a dynamic agent. This is where I disagree with the large, huge organization, the big commercial real estate brokerages, because what they do is that they have an agent and they have them focus on one specific asset class in one little tiny area. It's like, are you kidding me? There's like friggin' 14 properties that trade in every 12 months. Every year, 10 properties, 15 properties, 20 properties trade in this specific asset class, and you want me to, this is my area, so I'm gonna try to get a piece of 10 deals? How on planet Earth do you think they're going to survive? Newsflash, they're not. So what I recommend is that you can stick to one niche, but go big, go wide, right? Go over the course of an entire state. If you have a 75 unit deal 3 hours away, get in the car and go. You actually don't even need to really be there for much other than after the property's already been negotiated up front. Then you can go tour the property because you've already basically got a deal locked up. And guess what? You can also pay somebody $50 freaking to show up at an inspection. You actually don't even need to be there. This is about thinking smarter, not harder. Point number 7, control the controllables. It's like, have you ever heard somebody who complains when it's raining? It's like, You can't control that, so why are you complaining? In the world of commercial real estate, there's only so many controllables. I'm gonna share with you 5. These are 5 of the main key things that we talk about in my coaching program, which is how we basically guarantee anybody can increase their business, because if you focus on these 5 things, which I'm very good at, not only I've implemented in my own business, so I'm living proof that I can do it, but I've also shown with dozens, if not hundreds of other agents where you can easily, simplistically, or systematically add an additional $100,000 in GCI minimum to anybody's business. Which, let's talk about those 5 things. Number 1, lead generation. If you double the amount of leads that you generate, you will double your business. Point number 2 is lead conversion. If you double the lead conversion, same amount of leads, but you just double the lead conversion of those leads, you will double your business. Point number 3 we work on is referrals. Increasing the referral partnerships in your life, where that will also enhance your conversion ratio. The more referrals that you get, you're probably gonna close more deals, which will entail you probably selling more properties. Point number 4 is increasing the average sales price. If you just double your sales price, change nothing else in your business, you're going to double your business. And point number 5 is specifically average commission percentages. If you can double the average commission percentage in which you make, you're going to double your business. So we just work on all 5 of those specific things. There's actually 7 ways that you can increase a business, but we focus specifically on these 5 first, because they're very simplistic. Now, if you work on all 5 of those pillars consistently over a 12-month period of time, and let's just say every single quarter, you specifically work on increasing each one of those categories by a few percentage points, 5%, 10%, 20% each quarter, imagine what will happen in a matter of 12 months. This is how we're able to add hundreds of thousands of dollars to your bottom line. Again, if you think you might be a great fit, make sure you go in the description down below and schedule your call. This is how simplistic we make it, and if you focus on those 5 things, you're gonna see success too. Point number 8, we're talking about mindset, baby. It's about how you show up when you are going through these activities, right? Like, it's how you show up on the phone. It's how you show up when you're negotiating. It's how you show up when you're making your phone calls. It's how you show up in these moments more so than the activity in which you're doing. If you have 2 people who are, 2 real estate agents, one person is like, I'm gonna give it my best shot. I'm gonna try it. We'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna wing it. I'm really gonna give it the best try, versus someone who comes in and says, I'm gonna dominate today, this week, this month, this quarter, this year. I'm either gonna win or I'm gonna die trying. I'm either gonna sign 3 contracts this week or I'm gonna die trying. I'm gonna work 150 hours a week if that's what it takes in order to sign 3 contracts this week. That person is probably going to achieve their goal, versus someone who's I'm just gonna try it. You can't show up like that. There's a drastic difference between the top 1% of commercial real estate agents and the remaining 99%. 1% of the commercial real estate agents make 90+% of all the income. If you're wondering why, it's because they have a winner's mentality. Point number 9, we're talking about thinking bigger here, okay? This is all about the level of think. Now that you have a winner's mentality, it's time to about those goals that you're setting now. If you are going to set goals of 2 transactions a year, 3 transactions a year, the people even watching this content where maybe you're a brand new commercial real estate agent, you're like, I want to make $100,000 my first year. Do not shoot for 100, shoot for $1 million. Even if you sold low properties, you would have the goal, the mindset, like, I want to work based on that mapping to $1 million a year, because I might only make $150 my first year, but the next year I'll make $350 and then $700 and then $1.4 million. Do you understand? Like, that's the think here, which is think massive to begin with. Stop trying to say, I just want to make $100,000 this year, because what happens is, if based on certain commission percentages and average price points, that might only be 2 or 3 deals. And then what happens is you do the math, you're like, oh, I really only need a prospect for 2 seconds a day in order to do 3 deals. I'm kidding, by the way. But what happens is, in your head, you don't think like, oh, I need to do 40 transactions in order to make $1 million a year. The goal should always be, let's make $1 million+ a year. So work like it's going to map to $1 million a year, which if you want to close 3 or 4 or 5 transactions a month to make $1 million, like, we're only talking about $84,000 a month, guys. When you're selling a commercial deal, when the average commission check is $200,000, it's much easier to do that. That's why we're talking big numbers. Just keep in mind that this is all going to boil down to the work that you are doing, right? The reason of thinking big, right? Like, when I put on a goal sheet that in 2024, my goal is to make $20 million. Well, the reason for doing that is because I want to do the activities that map to $20 million. I might not make $20 million, but I want to make sure I'm doing the activities in which map to $20 million a year, because if I just do that consistently enough, there's no question that I will achieve a level of result I've never achieved before. Point number 10, we're talking about your network in this case, okay? You don't need 1,000 different buyers to make a lot of money in the commercial real estate world. You just don't. Let's just be super honest. You know what you do need? You need 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10. We're talking 10 people who buy 10, 20, 30 properties a year. Doing over 100 transactions a year happens because I have about 10 people who buy a lot of properties each and every single year. What this allows me to do is focus all of my effort on prospecting for properties and delivering properties on a silver platter for these individuals. Because think about it, if you have thousands of people, thousands, this is what wholesalers do, okay? Which is a terrible idea. They have thousands of buyers and they basically take a deal, any random BS deal that they can possibly find, and then they pitch it out to their thousands of buyers and hope and pray one of them wants to buy it. Instead, what I would do is that I would find 5 people who all buy 20, 30 plus properties a year, get super clear on exactly what they're looking for, prospect for that specific property, and then bring it to them on a silver platter and say, hey, this is exactly what your criteria is, buy it. And then guess what? They will. These people have the experience, the know-how, like they know that like, oh, well, this it meets my exact criteria. I've done this 100 times before. I'm gonna buy this, no problem, no questions asked. And of course they close because they have a lot of experience doing it. That's what I'd rather you focus on versus working with all the buyers in the world that come across your plate. No, you wanna vet them. Hey, on average, how many properties do you buy per year? 2, 0. 20, which one would you choose to work with? You just want to be super clear with who you want to work with. You want to work with the most seasoned and the most active investors, the people who close, that's most important, right? People who close 100% of the time, every time, as long as the numbers pencil. And point number 11, we're talking about learning how to be creative in today's market because again, we're recording this video in September of 2023. Interest rates are crazy high and everyone in the world thinks that certain asset classes or deals just aren't happening, right? And don't get me wrong. I mean, like we're at like 50 to 60% of the average amount of transactions on a good year are happening right now. There's a lot less deals going around. What's interesting though is that there's still a lot of transactions happening. You just need to learn how to be creative because if you can learn how to be creative, there's a lot more deals for there to be had. This has to do with understanding the world of seller financing and how to structure creative deals. I want to be super clear with you. Typically, a seller is going to want to do one of 2 things. They're either going to be really stuck on their price or they're going to be really stuck on their terms. And maybe there's a third one, which is both, right? They're stuck on their price and they're stuck on their terms. For those individuals who are really stuck on their pricing, you need to learn how to creatively structure a deal where, yes, we can pay a little bit more money, but we're going to have to pay you over time. And this is the structure of that deal. In this video, we're not going to dive exactly into that, but I want you to learn how to structure creative deals because it will allow you to close a lot more transactions when all of the rest of your realtor friends or realtor colleagues who don't understand how to structure creative deals are going to be struggling to close deals in this market unless they can find deals at like 9, 10, 12, 15 caps, which are just not happening right now. So if you're wondering on how to close more deals, learn how to structure creative deals. So that wraps up today's video. If you guys have any questions or concerns, make sure you put a comment in the description, give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you've yet to do so. And check out the description. We've got a lot of free content. Yes, free. Make sure you check it out there as well. I appreciate you so much and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.